The marketplace was nearly empty when I arrived, which was strange. On auction days, the Delta Target station was usually swarming with traders, mercs, and slave brokers all hunting for something exotic, rare, or broken enough to be cheap. But that day, there was only silence, and two girls, caged in a corner like discarded relics no one knew what to do with. I wasn't there to buy anyone. I never am. I run cargo, mostly medical supplies. I only stopped at Delta Target to refuel and stretch my legs. But I guess fate doesn't care about plans. They caught my eye the moment I passed the rusted auction platform. Everyone else was gone, either sold, claimed, or too dangerous to keep. Except them. The first girl sat cross-legged, arms wrapped around her knees. Her skin shimmered faintly, a glassy, almost crystalline blue. Her eyes were dull, unfocused, but her fingers traced circles in the air like she was drawing something only she could see. The second girl was standing, or rather, pacing, restless, animal-like. She had wild, coppery hair and slitted amber eyes that followed me the moment I stepped into view. Her tail flicked like a whip, her lips curled in a constant half-snarl. The auctioneer looked bored. "You want them? Take them." No one else did. I frowned. "What's wrong with them?" He shrugged. "The blue one's mute. Doesn't respond to commands. Might be brain-burned. The other one? Too wild. Attacked a buyer on sight. Bit through his gauntlet. Why are they still alive?" He laughed. "Good question. But the law says if no one bids after 12 cycles, they're to be scrapped. You've got 2 hours if you're interested." "Scrapped," I repeated. He grinned. "Euthanized. Easier than shipping him off. Who's going to pay for rejects?" I should have walked away. I've seen worse. The galaxy is cruel, and sometimes you learn not to look too hard. But something about them stopped me. The blue girl looked up, not with desperation, not with pleading. She just looked, and for a moment, I saw something shimmer in those eyes. Something that whispered, "See me." The other girl growled low in her throat when I stepped closer. Her fists were clenched, muscles taut, ready to fight. "Back off," I murmured. She paused. Her ears twitched, and then she stepped back, not out of fear, but permission. I turned to the auctioneer. "I'll take them." He blinked. "Both?" "Yes. Now, before you change your mind." He handed me the release keys like I was taking out the trash. The blue girl flinched when the cage opened. I moved slowly, offering a blanket. She didn't resist, but her hand shook as she took it. I lifted her gently, and she didn't make a sound. The wild one didn't wait. She leapt out of the cage like a shadow set free, pacing around me as I led them toward my ship. I could feel eyes on us the whole walk back. I didn't care. They weren't things. They were girls, someone's daughters, and no one had seen their beauty until now. I gave them names that night. The blue one I called Alari. The wild one? Rin. Names help people feel real again. Alari curled into the corner of the med bay and slept for 18 hours straight. Rin refused to sit, instead stalking every hallway, sniffing each corner like a feral cat, deciding if it would stay. I let them be. I knew time was stronger than any chain or collar. Alari was the first to open up. Not with words, she never spoke, but with drawings. She'd use bits of charcoal or spare styluses to sketch on walls, on data pads, even the floor. Worlds I'd never seen. Creatures of impossible shape and grace. Symbols that pulsed with meaning I couldn't read. One morning, I found her curled beside the engine room, sketching a picture of me. Rough, angular, but unmistakable. Her expression was calm. She had chosen to see me. Rin took longer. She didn't trust easily. Would snarl when I entered a room too quickly. Once she snapped at my wrist when I startled her and instantly pulled back, eyes wide with guilt. I didn't scold her. I just offered her the same cup of warm broth I brought every night. She didn't take it that time. But the next night, she did. Weeks passed. We fell into rhythm. Alari became my silent co-pilot, sensing star paths I couldn't see. Rin trained in the cargo bay, leaping between crates, running obstacle courses she built herself. Her strength was astonishing, but what stunned me more was how fiercely she protected Alari. She would sit outside Alari's bunk every night, like a guard wolf watching over her den. And one night, when I came back from a dangerous run with a gash on my ribs, it was Rin who pulled me to the med chair and stitched it with trembling hands. "I'm not good at soft things," she muttered. "You don't have to be," I said. "You're good at being real." She looked at me for a long time, then nodded. But peace doesn't last long in this galaxy. Not when someone profits off your pain. A bounty alert hit the ship's system one morning. High priority target. 2 alien females. 1 mute telepathic class Kitari. 1 feral class Hickson. Wanted for illegal escape, property theft, and endangerment of licensed auctioneers. Rin snarled as we read it. "They lied," she growled. "We were taken from our planets. We never agreed to be sold." I looked at the bounty listing. "This is from Targan Corporation. They're trying to reclaim you." Her fists clenched. "If they find us." "They won't," I said firmly. "I won't let them." Alari placed a hand on mine. For the first time, her mind brushed mine. Soft, quiet, but clear. "Thank you." I scrambled codes, rerouted in AV points, changed transponder IDs. But they found us anyway. It happened near the Arcadia drift belt. They sent interceptors, fast, silent, cloaked. By the time I noticed, they had docked. Gas flooded the corridors. I tried to fight, but my vision swam. My knees buckled. The last thing I saw was Rin lunging forward, claws bared. Then darkness. I woke in a cell, the sterile white of a corporate prison ship. My wrists were bound. My body ached. A guard sneered. "You're lucky. Most humans who harbor stolen assets don't get a trial." "They're not assets," I growled. "They're people." He laughed. "You're broken." Then he left. I didn't know what they did to the girls, but I feared the worst. Until the lights flickered. Screams echoed down the hallway. And a second later, my cell door hissed open. Rin stood there, bloodied, panting, keys in one hand. "Alari's disabling the security grid," she said. "We don't have long." "How did you?" They thought we were still weak. Her amber eyes glinted. They were wrong. We fought our way to the docking bay. Alari was waiting, silent, radiant, her eyes glowing like twin stars. As we boarded the ship, I turned back. A fleet drone hovered outside, watching. I raised my weapon, but Alari stepped forward. She didn't fire. She just looked, and the drone blinked out, shut down, like it had been told a truth it couldn't handle. We jumped back into black. Free. Together. That night, Rin curled beside me on the floor of the control deck. Her voice was quiet. I used to believe no one could see us. Not really. I turned to her. "I saw you both." "You didn't flinch," she whispered. "You didn't look away." "I never will." Alari approached, fingers tracing the stars on the viewing window. Then she turned and for the first time spoke aloud. Soft, fragile, but real. "We were made to be silent, savage, invisible. But you gave us names." She placed a hand over my heart. We drifted through the stars that night. Not as cargo, not as fugitives, but as a family. Chosen, rescued, and beautiful to the only eyes that ever truly saw them. 3 months passed. We settled on a moon called Kalen 4. Untouched, unclaimed, just soil, sky, and quiet. Alari built a garden with her mind, flowers that pulsed in rhythm with the stars. When I asked her why they glowed, she said, "So we never forget what darkness felt like." Rin hunted and protected. Every morning she'd scout the hills, then return with fire in her eyes and wild berries in her arms. They weren't broken girls anymore. They were powerful, alive and free. One evening, as we sat around a small fire, Rin placed something in my hand. It was a shard of her old collar. "I kept it," she said, "to remember where I came from." I looked at her. "You don't need it anymore." "I know," she whispered, "but I want you to have it, because when I thought no one ever would, you saw me." Then she kissed my forehead and rested her head on my shoulder like a lion curling beside the only soul it would ever trust. Alari came next, placing a small carved stone into my other hand. Etched into its surface were two symbols, one Kitari for freedom and the other for home. "I don't have a voice like yours," she said in her mind, "but you gave me a name, a place, and let me be more than a ghost." I looked at them both. My ship was empty before you. My life was hollow. But when no one else bid, when the galaxy looked away, I saw two stars buried under ash. I smiled, and I was never letting them go. Now, our days are quiet. We fly sometimes just to feel the stars again. Other times, we just sit under the glowing flowers, watching the sky change color. They were never things to be bought, never meant to be sold, and I didn't rescue them. They rescued me. From loneliness, from silence, from a life spent watching beauty pass me by. So if you ask me now why I bid on two alien girls no one wanted, I'll tell you this. Because love doesn't ask for perfect. It only asks you to see what others won't. And I saw them, and they saw me, and that was enough to change everything.